time for Live Now with Dr. Carmen Harra. The show offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions. And now, here's Dr. Carmen Harra.
Hello, everybody. So excited to be with you today to my very, very first episode of Live Now. I'm Dr. Carmen Harra, and I will be live with you every Friday. It's 9 a.m. Pacific. It's 12 p.m. On the East Coast in New York, Miami. So if you guys are listening, even from Europe, it's like around, I think, 7 p.m. in Europe. So you guys are very welcome to the show. I'm so grateful that you are choosing to spend time with me. And I'm going to introduce myself a little bit because this is my first show, so you know who I am. I'm a psychologist. I'm the author of 9 books. And I think, a best-selling author. Many of my books were bestsellers, majority of them. And I'm also a radio host for many years, more than 20 years on different stations. And I'm also a TV personality. I did thousands of shows during like 30 years of career. So I counsel many, many people, like around 40,000 people in my practice. And I work with everybody, from the lady next door to a famous politician, people in Hollywood. And for me, people are all the same. Everybody carries the same issues, has the same problems through life. So helping people is like a passion to me. And it makes me feel so excited if I can do something good, if I can guide you away from your pain, from your suffering, from your blockages, from your distress, and help you towards enlightenment, towards clarity, towards a new direction. That's why this is more like a calling show. So I invite you from the very beginning of the show to call in. And I'm going to give you the number. The number is 951-922-3532. 951 area code 922-3532. And I have a wonderful producer who I'm working with, and he's going to take your calls and he will connect you with me. I want you to know that I have been featured in a publication like the New York Times, the New York Post many times, the New York Daily News. I've been on shows like Good Morning America. Actually, I've been numerous times. I've been on the Today Show. I've been on The View. I've been on Fox News and many other shows in my life. And I'm the author of a number of books. The best-selling book, Everyday Karma, Decoding Your Destiny, Holiness, 11 Eternal Principles, Karma Queen Guides to Relationship. And my newest book that just came out recently is called Committed, Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes. And this was recently released. But today I would love to talk to you about how to conquer major challenges we all go through life, because life doesn't come without challenges, but it does come with solutions. So I used to always say, and probably you say the same thing, everything eventually finds peace. But until we get there, which are the steps that we need to take? What do we really need to do to overcome challenges and not to get stuck in a challenge? So that's why I help so many people find where is their resistance to the transformation. And when you resist something, that's causing pain, that's causing suffering. And of course, I help people break through those blockages. And I'm just an example of somebody who went through a lot of challenges. I was born in Romania, raised in the northern part of Romania, in Transylvania, during the Ceausescu regime. And I want to tell you, the life was very tough there. I was born in a small town with 5,000 people, no running water. Of course, we didn't have food during the Ceausescu regime. Life was very tough. We were not allowed to travel. And yet, somehow, I became a famous singer in my youth, and I toured all over Europe because I was known. So I participated in all kinds of events with my music. And I was invited 30-something years ago to do a concert in New York. So when I arrived in New York, 2 days later, I met my husband. And so here I am, all these days later, all these years later, being an American and working and kind of reinventing myself. I mean, I had to go through my own challenges, the challenge of immigration, the challenge of speaking a different language, writing books in a different language, and the challenge of losing my husband to cancer after 27 years of marriage. So I went through a lot in my life, and I had to reinvent myself from being a singer into becoming a doctor in the field of psychology, and then an author of all these books. And then even I had my own jewelry line on QVC. So I tried to do many things. As anytime I felt like a door is closing, I try something else. I try to reinvent, to find other resources within myself. And I speak from my heart when I speak about my own experience, because life challenges are so tough sometimes, so difficult to handle. You don't have to lose yourself through the challenge. Life comes with a flux of challenges, but it also comes with joy. And joy is your birthright. Sometimes, the challenges overtake the joy, and we find ourselves so overwhelmed with stress and problems. And I'm hearing this every day from people I'm working, from patients, from even relatives, people around me complaining that they can't cope with everything, with the stress, and most likely in the world today, in a changing world we are going through. But when this happens, our hope narrows, and we just can't see how we can escape our circumstances. So that's why here I am today, trying to find solution, trying to tell you what you should actually do if you feel this way. So you're not supposed to be overweight down by the heavy burden you're facing, but how can you handle them? That's the question. Shift your mindset, rediscover your resilience that exists within yourself. The most important thing is to have the courage to confront your challenges with dignity, with strength, and with grace and with awareness. So be aware of what's happening to you is essential. Whatever happens to you, whatever life throws on you, at you, you deserve to be happy. And you're supposed to be able to control your problem. Never let your problems control you. Never let those negative emotions take over your mind and take over your thinking and over your reality. So it can be tricky to find solution when everything happens at once. I mean, some of you are telling me, oh my God, I'm going through a divorce. I lost my home. My parents got sick, or my child is not okay. So when you have everything at once, it's very tricky to handle everything. So it's becoming like you become overburdened with problems. And then you feel like God has abandoned me. Where is the divine? Where is the harmony of the universe? Where is God? They're helping me. But God is within you, and you should be able to help yourself. You have to have your own capacity, to overcome all of this. Because under pressure, our vision sometimes becomes cloudy. And it's ironic that we can offer advice, and I can offer you advice. It's ironic, but on the other side, it happens that when you offer advice, you might feel clueless, of what you're actually supposed to do. So I'm going to go through the 7 to the 12. Actually, I choose 12 major challenges because I think it's important to acknowledge the power of 12. I always believe in the world of the physics. I also believed in the Pythagorean concept of time, because without Pythagoras discovering the concept of numbers, you will not have a social security, a birthday, and an account in the bank. So let's see the meaning of 12. 12, the 12 months, the 12 hours, the 12 apostles, the 12 gates to Israel. So 12 has such a powerful symbolic meaning. I said, okay, let me come up with the 12 challenges. Which are the 12 challenges? The challenge of relationship, which we all face. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to be a relationship expert, because I see how much people suffer because of their love life, how much love is actually causing pain. And it's probably the worst pain, because you can handle sometimes a physical pain. You take a pill, you take something, you get better. But when it comes to your love pain, to betrayal, into all those negative emotions associated with failing in a relationship, that can go on and on for many years. And again, if you listen to me and you think, I resonate with what she's saying, I resonate, I would love to know more, I would love to discuss my situation, and I have no problem to be on the radio, then feel free to call the station, 951-922-3532. This is the number where my producer Justin will pick up your call. And remember, this is a fabulous station that I'm on, and I'm very honored and excited to be on KMET 1490. I think it's 98.9 FM. So this is a radio station affiliated to ABC. So I want you guys to give me a chance to talk to you about your problem and find for you a solution. It's much easier, to look at a problem from outside, because if you trap in your own problem, as I said, your vision might be cloudy and you don't see solution. So the first challenge, the challenge of relationship. So when your love life starts with a problem or creates a problem, then go back within yourself, go back to the old habits, go back to your negative emotion, go back to a pattern of behavior, go back to probably something that happened to you before. And then you will find an answer to the challenge of a relationship. And you know where this challenge is coming from. That's one aspect. Then there's a challenge of resistance, because we resist things. And when you resist, you create suffering. When you resist your own transformation, when you resist going through a change because you're afraid that you're afraid of the unknown and you don't know how you're going to respond to change, then you actually create more pain. So the challenge to resistance is actually, the wisdom of it is staying still. You wait for the moment when you are ready. You wait for the moment when the doors will open in front of you, so that you don't have to push too hard and see no result. Then there's a challenge of unworthiness. Many times we feel we're not worthy. We're not good enough. This is something that everybody suffers of, self-esteem problems. So when you suffer of this and you are facing with the challenge of unworthiness, the wisdom is find your personal power. We all have that personal power. It exists deep, deep within ourselves. You have to unleash that power. When you feel hopeless in a situation that, again, you have a sense you cannot change or control, your personal power that you will unleash and access, it's going to change the circumstance of the situation. Then there is a challenge of illness that happens to all of us through life. We just get sick. How can we heal? And how can we overcome the challenge of a disease, a disconnect, an illness, a physical suffering? Believe it or not, one of the wisdom of overcoming the challenge of illness is forgiveness, forgiving your own self, detaching from the resentment, from the anger that probably you experience while you go through a divorce, or while you go through not only a breakup, but through a loss, a financial loss. Anytime we go through challenges like this, those negative emotions take over. The consequences, we release that toxicity in the bloodstream. And from there, the difficult experience of illness. So I'm going to go on about all these challenges, but I think it's time to take a short break. And don't forget to call in 954-922-3532. We're going to go through a break, and then we're going to take your calls. And I'm back, everybody. I'm so excited. I'm Carmen Harra. This is my first show. I'm so happy to do this show with you. It's called Live. It's called Live Now, with Carmen Harra. And I am encouraging you to call in. Many of you did call, and because you called before the show, you were told to call back. And I'm encouraging you to call back. It's because being the first show, Leave Now. Nobody knows exactly how to call in. But if you call after 9 a.m. or 12 p.m. after the show has started, we'll make sure we can keep you on hold so you'll be able to speak with me. So again, the number to call in, this is a call-in show. So this is a show in which you can call in with whatever problems you might experience in relationship, eventually even a health problem, if I can guide you through something, or if you have any kind of challenges that you don't know how to deal with, feel free to call in. So the number is 951, is the area code 951-922-3532. And I was telling you about different challenges that we go through life, and I'm going to continue with them. Then I'm going to introduce you my newest book. And again, waiting for you guys to call in. And I know it's not that easy because being the first show, and a lot of people probably don't know yet about this show, but if you listen, if you feel intrigued, if you ask yourself, there must be a reason I'm listening to this show. What's the reason? And also, if you feel comfortable talking on the radio about yourself and about the problem that you are experiencing, I assure you that you will get a lot of guidance, and it's helpful because you go through the pain, you go through the suffering, you go through your own issues, and your judgment is cloudy. You don't know how to take the right decision. That's why therapy exists. That's why cognitive therapy exists, because you need guidance to break through a certain situation. If you feel you're stuck, this is the show. You should be calling in 951-922-3532. So there's a challenge of betrayal. I mean, a lot of us suffer for being betrayed. And the challenge of betrayal and the wisdom is have humor in it, because if you take it seriously, it will take you forever to heal the trauma of betrayal. It is very painful to be betrayed. And I've seen cases, I've seen celebrities, I work with celebrities that have been betrayed. And I remember how painful and how hard it was for majority of the people I've been working to overcome betrayal. But then there's a challenge of lacking things, like when you feel like you don't have what you want, you're constantly afraid you're not going to have enough. You're not going to have enough money to survive. The wisdom of it, the wisdom is continue to give, continue to sacrifice, because money is a form of energy. You give, you receive. If you stop giving, you're not receiving. So know how to handle the energy of money is significant. Then there's the challenge of confusion. If you're confused in life, you're really confused, and you say, well, I am in a situation where I really have no idea where to go from here. The wisdom is, remember, you have an ability of the brain that is called intuition. When you're confused, go back to your intuitive mind, because your intuitive mind is like your guidance that exists, taking you on the right path. Intuition is an ability of the brain. I use intuition in my practice, and I've always thought of myself like somebody intuitive. I had a near-death experience when I was 5 years old, and I think something opened in my mind. So the ability to bridge the two hemispheres of the brain developed in me, and it can develop in you. So, and a lot of people are intuitive. The brain has a memory. The brain has all kinds of skills and talents, and has logic, but it also has this intuition that takes the mind from the cognitive level, the sensory level, into the highest level of the sixth sense, seventh sense, and so on. So use that to your advantage. That's the wisdom of confusion. When you confuse, become intuitive, and you're going to feel something telling you what to do, and trust your gut feeling. The challenge of depression and anxiety, that's a big one. We live in a very depressed and anxious world right now because of everything that's happening. The wisdom is to have empathy, exactly what I feel is missing right now. When you feel depressed, show empathy to connect to the people around you and understand we all experience the same emotion. We all are in the same situation. For the challenge of loss, let's say you lose somebody you love. The wisdom is, believe it or not, gratitude. When you lose something, when you lose, you show gratitude for the other blessing that you have. don't get stuck in that loss, because then you narrow your perception of your own life. Try to go beyond that and be grateful for the challenge of change. When we go through change, like the world goes through a big change right now, the challenge is evolution. So we evolve through everything that's happening. I really believe that this COVID-19 is something that will help us evolve and understand. And as long as we resist the right reason of this COVID, we continue to perpetuate this disease and make it multiply and make it actually get worse and become different variants. The moment we collectively embrace, and understand the meaning behind, we will be able to eradicate this disease. So probably not 100%, but majority of it. So it is possible. In life, you have to choose to learn from the lesson. And everything that happens to us is a lesson if you look through centuries of evolution. So I try to explain, these 12 challenges. I'm probably going to go more in depth in showing you much more about how to apply these challenges to make them be the miracle you're supposed to experience. But the world we are living in, each of us are in a state of change right now, because humanity is currently undergoing a great transition. To me, 2012 is the first year of the next 11 years of transformation. So 11 years of moving from one phase of existence into the next. So humanity is experiencing extraordinary transition to another phase of evolution. So struggle has always been, and I'm going to take a call right away, part of the human condition. But if we understand the reason of struggle and how to cope with, we can reach harmony, we can reach fulfillment. So whatever, as I said, if we resist, we perpetuate the same behavior, the same thoughts, the same emotional patterns. We don't want to perpetuate. We want to break through and relieve, the pain. So we can also prevent bringing more pain if we have the courage to do it. I've seen people overcoming the challenges. So out of fear, we also avoid taking necessary action and embrace the challenges. So we cannot afford to be afraid anymore. But I'm going to take a call right now. Somebody who's calling me. I'm very grateful for all of you who are reaching out, who want to have a voice, who want to talk about what's going on in their lives. But when you talk about, you indirectly can hear your own voice, can hear what you have to say, and have somebody listening to you. And the miracle in that moment is created, because through that communication, you can shift everything and you can turn your life around. So welcome to the show. Is it Lydia from New York?
Yes, hi, Dr. Harra.
Dalia from New York?
Yes, hi, Dr. Harra. Happy 2022.
I'm so excited. Dalia, thank you so much for calling me. Super excited to hear your voice.
Yes, congratulations on this show.
I'm excited about this show. I love this show. This is my first time on this station, and I'm celebrating it, and I'm happy to have you as my first caller. And I am grateful for the fact that you pick up the phone and call me. How can I help you, Dalia, today? Is there something in particular you need to talk to me about?
Yes, I love you. I just, what, we were talking, and I ended the show on Tuesday, and we didn't have time to talk. And I had told you that 12 years ago, my corporate job, I had a great corporate position, and I was downsized, and I lost my job, and then I lost my home, and then I lost everything that I had. And then 5 years later, my brother died, my younger brother died, then my father died, my mother died, and I've had an hourly wage position that is way beneath what I should be doing. And so I wanted to see if 2022 I would be recovering from that, because now I have no family and nothing left. So you said that you saw me recovering and that you saw a lot of things, and to call you today and to pick up where we left off because the show ended.
I appreciate, Dalia, listen, for everyone listening to the show, to me, you're just a hero. I mean, to go through to such hardship, to so many challenges at once, from the loss of your parents, of your brother, from the loss of your work, of your place. I mean, you pretty much, lost everything you had, like you said, you lost it all. And now you need to recover and have the strength and the wisdom to find within you that resilience, that inner power to start again, to be reborn. That's what's happening to you. And I feel the year when all of this is gonna fall in place is 2022. So this 22 year is the one when you find yourself, when not only you will be able to get a new job, I feel you have an opportunity to be on a corporate job again, or you will be able to be on a different type of a job. It's going to be your choice. So in other words, there may be not only one opportunity, maybe two. So just pay attention, and from now on up to March. So that's my sense that I have with you, using my intuition, that from now on to in the next 2 months, you will have two offers. After a period in which only negativity happened, we cannot only go in the dark. You're coming into the light right now. So you'll not only going to rebuild and find yourself and create even a better job, in my opinion, believe it or not. It's going to be better than what you had, more stable, more you. You'll be able to express yourself better, but you will be able to create a new home. That's what I'm excited for you. You will have a new place to live. And that, to me, is just the music to my ears, because you need your home back. You need to get back what you lost. And in your case, it's happening during this year. So you will have the financial opportunity to be able to go back and purchase a new property. I don't know if you'll just go and buy or rent with the possibility to buy, but I absolutely, I'm a firm believer that if you call me back somewhere in a matter of months from now, probably 3, 4, 5 months, half a year from now, we'll talk again on the radio, and you will validate that, yes, I was able to move. I'm in a new residence. I have a new job. It feels like I start a new chapter in the book of my life, because that's the way things are going to be for you, Dalia.
Okay. Do you see me in the same company that I'm in now, or because I've been in over 600 applications and I've had one interview?
So there's two offers. The company that you are right now might offer you a position, but there is another company. Out of all those applications that you send, there's a new company. And I'm having a very strong sense of a company that might start with an M name, an M or C. So I don't know who this company really is, because I'm not getting the full name of the company. But intuitively, I feel like there is a company who offers you an even better opportunity than the one this company might offer. So in other words, get ready to have choices. And there's nothing better than having choices when it comes to having a new workplace. So I will probably advise you to go for the new offer that will come to you, other than going and sticking with the old, because it opens door to a different perspective. You will work in a different environment. There will be a different energy. You will meet new people. So you will feel different about yourself, talking about the confidence in you. And I want to rebuild that confidence and show you that the power is within you. And all of these wonderful things are coming back to reward you from all the losses. My life is minus and plus. Life is algebra. Life cannot only be staying in the minus. So now is the time for you to regain and bring back the losses. Of course, you cannot bring back your parents, but you will have a better home, you'll have a better job, and you will feel better about yourself during this year. To the end of the year, your life will be fully rebuilt, Dalia.
Sure. And do you sense that this is out of New York or in New York?
In New York.
Oh, okay.
It's in New York.
Thank
it's
you.
in New York. And it's interesting that it's something you probably thought about it. It was in your mind at some point. You had an idea, and now pretty much whatever you thought is coming to tuition, is turning into your reality. And I want you to think about, to almost like imagine how your new home is gonna look, because when what we think we become, what you put out there translates into your physical reality. So I want to open, you know what I'm doing? I'm opening, it's a portal. I'm opening a door in your subconscious mind, in your conscious reality, to acknowledge that all of this is happening to stop the fear that you might be trapped into being without a job, or trapped into this miserable situation. You are not, my love. This is changing for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
No, I love you, Dalia. Thank you for calling me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to speak with you. And feel free to call again. Just call me. Let's validate. Anytime you get an offer, pick up the phone and let's talk on the station every Friday. I'm available for you, Dalia, and I'm here for you.
Okay, we'll do. Happy 2022. That's for the show.
To you too, my beautiful.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back, and if anybody's calling me, you guys feel free to call. I'm here for you. If you have any questions, if you want a little bit of guidance, if you feel like Dalia feels, so there's someone else calling me. I'm very excited to speak with people, because that's what I'm here. What's your name, my dear? Okay. Who am I speaking? Okay, who am I speaking to? What's your name?
Hi, Carmen. My name is Julia.
Julia?
Yes.
Hi, my Julia. So good to hear
Carmen.
your voice. How are you, my beautiful Julia? How can I help
Happy New
you, my
Year.
love?
Happy New Year, first of all.
Happy New Year to you, too. It's so good to be
listen
with you.
Your voice.
So thank you for calling on my new show. So, Julia, what is your question to me today? Is there something in particular you want me to guide you through?
Yeah, Carmen, I proposed to my dentist the new price that I had in my mind.
Right.
And I expected that things would go well. And now I'm just wondering if I said something wrong, or if I did anything that upset her, because she didn't reply in a way that could give me a chance to see we can work together.
Is that she was not happy with the price you offer her. So that must be the reason of her not responding. But I personally am not judging or blaming her, but she should have responded and trying to negotiate with you a price that was convenient for her. I do have a feeling that you might try somebody else, and I encourage you to try to see if there is someone else helping you here. My feeling is that you're not going to wait necessarily for her, and you will go and do this with someone else.
Yeah. Because, Carmen, there are many
types. A female dentist is a male dentist, is a man that's going to really help you and probably do a way better job than this woman. Believe it or not, try to see the reason why this woman is not the one supposed to do the work for you. Because whenever we see an opposition, we have to understand what's beyond. There is a reason I'm not getting this from this person. There has to be a reason of something else. So my opinion is, don't feel upset. Don't let this demoralize you. Look for someone else, and that door will open right away.
Yeah, and do you see that the dentist will be a man, or will be a man helping me to find a dentist?
Both ways. A man will help you find the dentist, but the man doing the job will be there will be a man dentist. And it will be easy. The communication is going to be easier. The price is going to be more convenient, and the work is going to be better.
Yeah, because I had an appointment to a woman, so now I think I should just cancel it if it's not her. Next Monday.
Look for someone else. Continue to look. You can go see
Yeah.
this person, but something tells me, and you can validate that to me, calling me back whenever you want, that there will be someone new that you haven't contacted yet.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now it's more clear.
My beautiful
because,
Julia.
yeah.
Call me back anytime. I'm here every Friday. So this is a more convenient time for you to call me. I love you, Julia.
Indeed, you are right. I love you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So, we were talking about challenges. There are practical strategies to meet your challenges, practical ways to work through the challenges of life. When you see the caller before, that life throws at you all kinds of difficult situations, from losing the people you love, to losing your home, to losing your job, and all at once. That's so depressing. That's so difficult to deal with. But you try to make small changes every day and try not to allow those negative feelings to take over. The truth is that change doesn't happen because we think I should change something. Change happens when we participate. We have to take action every day in making the necessary changes. And there are things that you probably heard before. You can do journaling, you can write your thoughts, you can program your mind. Is programmed to the way you think, and write down your thoughts, write down what's upsetting you, write down your dominant emotion. I always teach you to have a notebook in which every single day you ask yourself, do I harbor negative feelings? What is my number one emotion that I feel at 9 a.m., at 1 p.m., at 7 p.m.? Is it the same emotion? And then in a number of days, you realize what is your dominant emotion. When you know your emotion, you can switch that emotion. Let's say it's anger or fear, switch it into positivity and bring in a positive emotion. Replace negative. Don't let them, take over and take control over your thoughts. So make progress, because this is the way you achieve transformation, personal transformation. I will continue to take your calls. If you guys call in 951-922-3532, because this is the wonderful part of the show. But I want to also let you know that everybody who needs to have a counseling session with me, everybody who's listening to the show, you do get, because this is the beginning of my new radio show, you do get a 50% discount on all my sessions if you are listening. So, and a session with me is helping you in so many ways. So if you think you need this, this is the time to take opportunity. If you think you have something to ask me through an email, feel free to write me an email at carmenharra, Carmen Harra. Sometimes my assistant Sarah responds, but in majority of the cases, I always read your emails and I always have an answer from you. So email me at carmenharra@aol.com. That's my name at AOL. And I want you to be my friend on Facebook. I want you to be my friend on Instagram, the social media. I do a lot of lives on social media talking about different topics. So if you are my friend on Facebook or Instagram, you have a chance to see where I am, what I'm doing, what shows I'm doing. I did a lot of TV shows lately. You can watch them. I did a lot of lives. You can be part of my lives, and you know when my next show will happen. So it's great to connect through the social media. Also, my new book, I told you so many times about my new book during the show, called Committed: Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes. My new book is helping you to reevaluate the way you think about love. It's a manual. It's a relationship manual. That's what I intended this to be. And it has 2 parts. It shows you the work that you need inside you in order to get the relationship that you want, and the people you meet in the outside world, the archetypes of individual. I call my book like a predictability chart for you to understand who you are, what are your characteristics, your traits, your skills, and who you meet and who's your match. From the perspective of the human archetypes. Now, the concept of human archetypes was introduced in psychology by Carl Jung. And Carl Jung took the concept from the Greeks, from Plato, and understood how significant it is to introduce the whole idea in psychology. So the book is called Committed because commitment comes from the Latin word committere, means give yourself to another person. So we all want to commit, but a lot of us don't really understand that, have different definition of commitment. But there is a specific definition of commitment, which means you have to be willing and you have to be ready to give yourself to someone else. And when I say yourself, everything that you represent. So committed helps you re-examine your core beliefs about what commitment is all about, shows you how to liberate yourself from people you don't need in your life. Many times, you cannot commit because you influence, but all kinds of people, from the people at work to your family member to your neighbors, telling you to do certain things. You have to be an adult and do what you think is right for you and liberate yourself from influences from the outside world. You have to develop an unshakable sense of self-worth so that not only you give yourself to a partner, but to the right partner. Because that's why we live in a world when out of 100 marriages, 50-something will end up in a divorce, in a breakup, in a year, in 5 years later. 10 years later, those two people look at each other. They don't even understand why they got married. So we don't want to be there. We have to develop something that is called emotional intimacy. And the book talks a lot about emotional intimacy because it's very significant to develop a soul connection with your partner, not only the physical chemistry, physical attraction sometimes dies. And why it dies? Because those neurotransmitters in the brain, the dopamine, the adrenaline, they go down after many years of spending together. And how can you spice that up? That is all in the book. So you can actually, invent, the life in a bedroom. You can reinvent your sexuality. You can work on being creative. So it's very important, to understand all these aspects of a relationship, because they part of how you feel and how successful and fulfilling a relationship can be. But part of the book, and the reason I want to mention this, because it's so significant to identify your archetype, your strength, your weaknesses, your mindset, your inclination, and your commitment capacity. Now, there are different types of archetypes, and you probably heard some of them, but never really understand what they really mean. So the book goes in great length defining your love archetype that determine, what do you want to, how do you want to commit based on your needs, your fears, your desires. And here is where the book shows you, if you are that archetype, this is your match. And it's psychologically, in simple terms, defining you and defining your partner. So the goal of this book is to find and keep the love that you deserve, and find that kind of authentic and passionate relationship that fills you with excitement every day, because that's what we want. Now, you find Commitment, my book, in every bookstore. You find it everywhere. I'm giving you an example about the archetypes. And of course, my book is at Amazon, by the way. I make a parenthesis. But I'm giving you an example talking about archetypes, how significant it is to understand that if you're a narcissist, what are the characteristics of a narcissist? You might only match another narcissist, because any of the other archetypes might not get along with a narcissist who is very has very selfish inclination, and he is all about himself, and that precludes him from connecting with any other archetype. So there are archetypes like independent, and independent are going to get a lot with an archetype. There are the free spirit, there are hopeless romantic, there's the wounded warrior, there's the workaholic, and then there is the introvert. So there are different archetypes. They are defined in a psychological way. Now, remember, there is a dominant archetype and a recessive archetype. Many times you might read the book and find that there is not only one element in your archetype, you can find that, hey, I'm a little bit of a hopeless romantic, but I'm also independent. So there are other archetypes that exist within you, but there's always a dominant one. There's always an inclination towards a certain archetype. So that's why I recommend my book. So the goal, as I said, of the book is for you to have those fulfilling relationships. Now, and again, if you want to call in, I think I have some minutes left, 951-922-3532, and we can discuss what's significant for you, and we can introspect a little bit your problem, no matter whatever the problem you might face. If you're facing a problem with addiction, if you're facing a problem with a divorce, if you're facing a problem with a loss, feel free to call in and let's find solutions for those problems, because life comes with problems but also comes with solutions. I'm going to talk a little bit for the minutes that are left. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to go back to the so-called 12 keys to conquer challenges that I mentioned at the beginning, because the personal battle in life I won by engaging with the right wisdom in the right moment. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the wisdom of the right moment. For instance, there's the wisdom of self-healing. We all feel like we've been hurt or we are suffering. Right now, it is the collective mind of the planet is suffering. The collective consciousness is in distress because of everything that's happening. So the wisdom is the wisdom of self-healing individually and collectively. Nourishing ourselves right now should be our priority. Not only, you want to establish in life a loving relationship, but you also want to have loving relationship with the people in the community, with your family, with your neighbors, with your co-workers. And sometimes, self-healing transcends self-love. And you must always honor the problems that you have. Sometimes you must honor your own faults, your habits, your character traits, before you grow into the totality of who you are. So if you find that your relationship are toxic, which happens many times, or exhausting or damaging to well-being, that think of the wisdom of self-healing. If we find that the world right now is damaged by a virus, by something that we all collectively, we have to eradicate the problem. I know it's not easy, because it's never easy to heal. It's never easy to turn your attention to where the problem is. We tend to ignore the problem, and that's exactly what we're doing with COVID. That's why we don't vaccinate that, because we tend to pay attention to the reality and to solving the problem. So we have such a hard time facing the truth and taking the proper action. So that's why wisdom of self-healing is essential. Then there's the wisdom of stillness. I talk about, okay, don't take an action when you don't think you can take the right steps. So stand still, wait, take a deep breath, and stop trying to do something when the time is not in your favor. So know that why this is happening right now. It's happening right now because there might be a bigger reason. So then the wisdom of personal power, which I talk about, it demonstrates that we are born with that shining light. It's so beautiful, the shining light that exists within us. We all have those natural talents. Try to unleash those natural talents. Try to tell yourself that you are worthy of everything, that you deserve everything what's best. So then there's the wisdom of forgiveness, the wisdom of detachment, the wisdom of endurance, the wisdom of humor, the wisdom of sacrifice, the wisdom of intuition, the wisdom of returning to the origin, the wisdom of empathy, the wisdom of gratitude, and of course, the wisdom of evolution. I'm Carmen Harra, and I was live with you today on a show called Live Now, and I will be with you next Friday in the same place, and I'm super excited, and I'm very grateful for you listening to the show.
You have been listening to Live Now with Dr. Carmen Harra, heard every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. And don't forget to check out the show's programmer podcast on the KMET radio website.